Black Myth Wukong is very close, so I want to go over some final important info and news that will be handy to know before playing. Like the final trailer went over brand new transformations we have not seen before, and I'm happy to see some of them are focused more on ranged combat, as we have this creature with a repeating crossbow and also exploding arrows. There's also a very evasive red man, who I'm going to refer to as Master Splinter for I think obvious reasons. His dodge seems to cover a lot of ground, and if I'm seeing it correctly, he can also throw his dagger and then teleport to it, which is an incredible tool for getting in and out of danger quickly. Then there's this human looking monk with a spectral dodge, and we also get a shot of what I think is the macaque chief from earlier gameplay and previews, but this time as a full-on transformation. Not all forms are focused on combat though, as there are also some transformations that serve a different purpose. A new one from this final trailer is Wukong's ability to turn into a tree and blend in with the environment, which seems like the perfect way to avoid drawing aggro from this giant creature, so if you play it smart, you can probably just sneak past it. And this is not the only example we've seen of stealth, as earlier gameplay also showed Wukong shapeshifting into a cicada to sneak past enemies. Not sure if using these is optional or if the game will actually have small stealth sections on the main path to shake up the gameplay a bit. We also have some traversal forms, as we've already seen the Monkey King turn into a bat to fly to a frozen lake, and while it's not confirmed, the way the camera is tracking this running wolf, I'm pretty sure that's also a shapeshifted Wukong. Want to share more important info on these transformations a bit later, but I'm also still in awe at the variety of environments, creatures and bosses that were shown. While the game won't be open world, these huge and detailed backdrops of snowy mountains, abandoned temples and lush forests will really help you immerse yourself in the world of Black Myth Wukong. I also spotted who I think will be a very important character in the game, which is this one with a giant gourd on his back. Because of this accessory, I think he will be the NPC that can help you upgrade your healing gourd for you, which is something that was mentioned in several of the previews. He also has a small dialogue with Wukong at the end of the trailer, revealing him to be some sort of guide or advisor to the Monkey King. And since he's also one of the few clearly human characters we've seen so far, I'm guessing this could actually be Santan Zhang, the protagonist of Journey to the West, the story that Black Myth Wukong is based on. We also get our first in-game shot of the folk opera armor in this new footage, which comes with the Digital Deluxe Edition. I love the red scarf and the chunky detailed shoulder pads, but yeah, it's still unclear if everyone will be able to obtain this armor. Them showing it in the trailer makes you think it is available for everyone, in which case the Digital Deluxe Edition works similar to Spider-Man, where you simply get the armor set a bit earlier. But I did some digging, and the Epic store page does not list that these items are obtainable through progressing in the game, while it does list that specifically for the pre-order bonus, which is a new version of the healing gourd, by the way. It does know that you're able to claim both the pre-order and deluxe edition items from the Trailblazers gift menu at the Keeper Shrine during the early stages of the game, so you don't have to wait long before you can wear this badass armor. I'm still guessing it's a deluxe edition exclusive, and if you want to get that edition, you're in luck, as we're currently doing a giveaway for it. So make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, and then you can enter via the link in the pinned comment. Regardless of which version you pick though, Black Myth Wukong will be available for everyone to play on August 20th at 10 AM UTC. So that would be 3 AM Pacific Standard Time, 6 AM Eastern Standard Time, 11 AM in the UK, and 12 PM in Central Europe or your regional equivalent. News outlet Sportskeeda also noted their review of the game will go live on August 16th at 7 AM Pacific Time, meaning that is when the embargo lifts. So if you're still on the fence, you can check the reviews ahead of launch and make your decision when the game comes out on the 20th. Also good to know for PC players is that there is a free benchmark tool available on Steam. By downloading this app, you can tweak around the graphical settings and check how the game will perform on your system, so very useful if you're worried about your FPS. You can find the tool on the game store page if you want to download it, and I'll also link to it in the video description. Okay, back to the trailer now, as I also noticed some new transformations heavily focused on elemental damage. There's this fleshy poison creature that you can turn into that looks like it can imbue its arm blade with poison by stabbing itself. It can then poison enemies with its regular attacks and also trigger a powerful poison explosion as a secondary ability. This also seems to draw some form of energy towards you, which I'm guessing replenishes health, but since there's no HUD, there's no way to tell. A healing ability is a super useful skill for a transformation though, as it potentially allows you to stay in that form for longer. In case you didn't know, a transformation has a completely separate health bar from the Monkey King, meaning he can't take damage while you are transformed, but losing all health also means you change back into Wukong. So being able to heal with this poison explosion means you eliminate the risk of losing your form due to health damage. But a transformation can also expire if you expend all of its energy on abilities, meaning you cannot spam them to stay alive indefinitely, even if you have access to a healing skill. And there's actually another form shown in the trailer that shows the elemental powers of some of these forms. This two-headed rat bandit does not seem that special at first glance, apart from the two heads of course, but that is until you realize one of the heads has the ability to breathe fire, which seems really effective against the spiders it's fighting. I also want to point out the animation here, as because this creature is two-headed, it's also ambidextrous, meaning it can seamlessly swap its weapon from the left to the right hand mid-combo. It also has access to what looks to be a self-destruct move, which I'm guessing ends the transformation if you use it, but it does look really powerful. But my favorite that we've seen so far is this guy with the tentacles growing from his back. Or are they tree roots? Maybe snakes? Anyway, whatever they are, I love the way this creature is animated, as it uses his back tentacles as both an extra set of legs for movement and an extra pair of arms for attacks. He also possesses ranged attacks, as he can grab snow from the ground and throw it at an enemy. Although I'm guessing that if you use this attack in a not snowy area, you'll just pick up a rock or something. But yeah, with throwing attacks, wide sweeping strikes with your tentacles, and a powerful looking ground pound, this form seems extremely strong against groups of enemies. That does mean I probably won't use it against bosses, because you are forced to pick which transformation you want in your active skill selection. Your abilities in Black Myth Wukong are divided into 4 categories, and while you can always have 4 active skills in your ability wheel, you cannot select 2 from the same category, at least not as far as I know. Going back to the trailer, we can also see Wukong absorb the essence of one of his enemies into a gourd. The enemy form is later used in combat, so while some enemy forms are obtained by grabbing their weapon, sometimes you just have to steal someone's soul, I guess. But yeah, while the trailer does not show us much gameplay with this form, we do have footage of the actual boss fight, or at least a very similar looking boss, which should give us an idea of what Wukong can do in this form. He can fire a massive energy blast from his hand, a 4-step ground pound that extends the radius with each hit, and the most terrifying attack of all, the slow clap. Okay, I'm just kidding about that last one, but with the ground pound, the energy blast, and the head slam we saw in the new trailer, this form is looking pretty good too. But the main reason I mentioned the soul absorbing deal is because of another shot in the trailer that shows this massive turtle creature carrying a landmass on its back. Obviously the design is great, but what's even more interesting is what I think is happening in this scene. This is speculation on my end, so keep that in mind, but the spark of energy falling down from the turtle's mouth looks surprisingly similar to the energy we absorbed from the bald boss earlier in the trailer. Its face in the shot after also looks surprisingly peaceful, not like we fought it or anything, so does that mean that the turtle here is giving Wukong its power? And if so, what the hell would that transformation even look like? Maybe we need it to fight some of the other giant creatures, as definitely not all battles in Black Myth Wukong will be on equal footing. As someone who does not particularly like insects, this giant bug looks absolutely terrifying, but a cool detail is that he's actually being controlled by a rider, as you can see someone controlling it by holding the antenna on top of his head. There are also enemies who possess dangerous magical spells, like the ability to push your spirit out of your body, a spell that sucks you in like an overcharged vacuum cleaner, and this very painful looking flaming wheel. But definitely the most dangerous enemy shown in the trailer, and the one I'm most looking forward to fight though, are the 4 Heavenly Kings. These are Buddhist gods, with each one of them guarding one of the 4 cardinal directions, so north, east, south and west. They have some pretty standout accessories like an umbrella and a musical instrument, so that's how we know it's them. And yeah, that also places Wukong in my favorite genre of overpowered character going toe to toe with literal gold, so I am really stoked for this showdown. And we'll have tons of tips and tricks up on the channel when the game launches, so subscribe to not miss those, leave a like on this video and watch our previous one on everything you need to know about Black Myth Wukong by clicking on the screen. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.